Hi, I'm Nico Acosta, co-founder and CEO of Propel, and I'm here to talk about customer-facing analytics and why they're so much harder than they seem. I wanted to start by showing a couple of examples of customer-facing analytics in the real world. You've all used LinkedIn, right? And when you go to see your profile, it shows you a pretty chart of who's seen your profile over the last year, 60 days, whatever you want. Or when you log into Stripe, the first thing you see is all the data that you of your Stripe account, how much have you sold, pending invoices. And these two are great examples of customer-facing analytics. They're analytics baked into your product, exposed to end users or customers. In the case of LinkedIn, what's interesting is that they built an entirely new database, Apache Pinot, to power these customer-facing analytics use cases. And when you look across the board, a lot of the leading companies have leveraged customer-facing analytics. Twilio, Shopify, Stripe, Facebook, they all have a ton of analytics built into their products. But what's the secret, it's not talked about a ton, is that there's huge teams behind these products, and it's taken them years to build. Before founding Propel, I spent 10 years at Twilio building all sorts of API products and data products. And one of the products we built was Voice Insights. And this was really the first time it clicked that customer-facing analytics have unique requirements. So let's boil those down. Let's see what are really those requirements and how is that different from internal business intelligence. First, you need sub-second latencies. If you log into Stripe and that dashboard takes 5, 10, 15 seconds to load, you're killing the product experience. So sub-second latency is a must-have for customer-facing analytics. Second, you must be in full control over your product's look and feel and overall product experience. You want it to look exactly like your product. Sometimes you want it to be part of a workflow. Sometimes you want it to be in a dashboard. Sometimes you want to be in a card here and there in the product. You need full control. Third, sometimes you want to expose it via dashboards in a web UI or APIs or even emails. You want to empower your customers to customize their own reports. And all these products are built by product engineering teams, not only data teams. So you want to empower them to build with data. And these requirements is what makes customer-facing analytics unique. But when go out there, you leading products leverage a ton of analytics, but most SaaS products don't really leverage modern analytics. Most SaaS products have very simple charts, have very limited reporting, very limited dashboards, or no dashboards at all. And so let's look what it takes to build customer-facing analytics at scale. First, you have your data, where it's in a data warehouse, in a database, in a streaming, in events, right? You need to build the pipelines to get that to a real-time analytics DB, whether it's managed, whether it's you deploy it yourself. On top of that, you need to build an API layer so your applications can talk to it. And then you need to build a multi-tenant access control layer. And I want to stop here because the multi-tenant access control is unique to customer-facing analytics. You wouldn't, if you have 20,000 users in your application, you would never create 20,000 database users and manage that at the database level. You need to bake that into your business logic. You need to bake that into your application, meaning something you need to build, maintain, and because it's data, because it's security, it's super, super tricky. And lastly, you have to build the UI from scratch. So this all added with, when you deal with customers, customer feedback matters, and it matters a lot, right? So customers say, hey, I want to see the data with our granularity. It's like, oh, we aggregated it by day. So go back to the data pipeline, re-engineer all that and go through the process again. Or customers asking for filters. I want to filter by XYZ or see the data broken down by Y. I want to see my data, not just the last 30 days, but all my data where I need to customize the reports. I need to use the data via an API. How can I answer ad hoc queries? Or my users, if imagine you're a global, a SaaS company that serves a global user base, your different users will want to see their data in their local time zones. So as when you aggregate, you make an assumption of the time zone, and you limit what you can expose there. At Twilio, for example, we didn't have just one team that was Voice Insights, which is the team that I worked on. We had multiple teams. We had messaging wanting to build insights, IoT wanting to build this, email, contact center. So it's not just one centralized team. It's many teams that want to build analytics into their products. And every team needs to be empowered to build with data. And what I mean by this is not just doing analysis on data, but to build with production-grade data products. So we saw what it takes to build from scratch. At Propel, we provide a customer-facing analytics platform for product and engineering teams to deploy and build customer-facing data products in days. So what this looks like is that you have your same data sources. Propel sits on top of your data stack. And with Propel, you get a real-time analytics engine, multi-tenant access control, SQL APIs, and React components to power your in-product analytics, data APIs, and data-driven workflows. Something like, imagine like a marketing automation workflow. And all of that in days. I really love what one of our customers has done, Courier. They built all their analytics with Propel. This is a screenshot of their customer-facing portal. Like that, many other customers have built their same. But enough said, let's see it live. And what we're going to do today is that we're going to leverage the power of Airbyte together with Propel. So we're going to take a Postgres DB. We're going to use Airbyte to get that data into S3. And then from S3, we're going to use Propel to power our Next.js app. This is a project that would take normally months, and we're going to do this in the next 3 minutes. So let's get started. So we got our Airbyte task. The Airbyte task is dropping our files here in our S3. And this is the Propel console. What you'll see here are data pools, that is the high-speed storage where the data lands. We're going to create a data pool from our S3 bucket. I have our credentials. We introspect the S3 bucket. We look at the Parquet files that are in there. This looks good. All of our demos are taco themed. So you'll see taco name, sauce name, restaurant ID. We're going to give it a primary timestamp. We're going to sync every minute and give it a name. For the purposes of this demo, I've already created a data pool that's syncing data already. And we can go ahead and right away make API requests. So we're going to use a soft demo, and we're going to say, hey, give me the revenue as the sum of total price. And boom, we are serving data super, super fast. And this playground gives us the API request that gets that data. We're going to do the same, but from Postman. Here, I'm going to show the different types of APIs. You have a time series API. You see really sub-second response times, and this is the data that we get. We have a leaderboard API. In this case, we're going to get the sales by restaurant. And we have a counters API for all our KPIs. So we have all our counters from this single query. If we go back here, this is the dashboard that we want to power. This is a plain vanilla Next.js app. The only problem is that it doesn't have data, right? So what we're going to do is in Postman, I'm going to show you the query that's going to power that dashboard. That dashboard, as simple as it looks, it has 10 different queries that all need to load really, really fast. So we're loading this in 145 milliseconds. We're going to copy this, go to our VS Code. We're going to comment that dummy query, paste this, and then we're going to paste our variables. When we come back to the app, boom, we have data flowing. One of the first things we get is customer feedback saying, hey, I want to see the data by day, not by week. With Propel, you don't need to re-engineer your entire pipeline. You just come here, say, hey, I want to change this to be day. And boom, just like that, you've got your app working with a day granularity. So to recap what we saw, we used Airbyte to get the data from Postgres to S3. We connected Propel to sync Parquet files from S3, tested queries in the API playground, tested queries in Postman, and we connected it to our Next.js app. And in a couple of minutes, we had a high-performant, native-looking analytics in our app. So that's what I had to share. Hope you're all inspired to build customer-facing analytics in your applications. Check out Propel. You can find us at propeldata.com. You can use Airbyte to get your data ready to ingest with Propel. I'm Nico Acosta, co-founder and CEO. Thank you for listening.